You're listening to the Hot Seat Podcast.
Welcome all. I'm Sean, along with my co-host Earl. Dave.
What up?
There's not even a yes sir for this.
You guys know what it is. We're just dads with mics, gamers with headsets, and a whole lot of unfiltered conversation. As always, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seat Podcast. Make sure you follow us on YouTube at the Hot Seat Podcast. Make sure you listen, like, rate, review, share, most importantly, enjoy it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite shows. And if you don't like doing none of the shit I just asked you to do, make sure you go ahead and visit us on the hotseatpodcast.com, where you can get 20% off of your merch when you become a supporter of the Hot Seat Podcast Plus. If you guys wonder why the fuck that I just did everything I did, technology let us down. We've been recording the entire time. We've been doing a whole 30-minute segment and we realized that the shit was not recording. The Yankees lost in 5 because they fucked up in the 5th inning. They were up 5-0. They had 5 unearned runs happen. Juan Soto decided he's not going to come back to the New York Yankees. Aaron Boone probably.
Time is still one of the best people I've ever seen play. Go ahead.
Yep, he is though.
His style is crazy, and his stance is like this.
Located there. Earl tried to call him not that good, but we say he is good. Earl doesn't live like we give out candy because we was talking about giving out candy on Halloween. It is Halloween, October 31st.
I got my 5 top reasons.
Right, he has 5 top reasons there. Make sure your kids come out there something. I live outside of Baltimore, but they came out with backpacks and stuff like that. But I want to make sure that they enjoy one night so they don't get, enjoy some shit that ain't good on the other night. And now we talk about voting and shit like that. Vote.
Make sure you get out and vote and blah, blah, blah. But hey, you know what? Since it didn't record, I do want to say that one thing over again. Christ. And so we just fast forwarded through all the stuff. Yes, but I do want to say this again. This is the unbiased view of all this. And what frustrates me is the fact that, holding people accountable. And I don't care what side you're voting on. If you're sitting back and saying, I don't really have a side, you got to agree on this. Why do we sit back and don't hold anybody accountable, no matter what side, to the fact of them only waking up every 4 years to wake up to your area? They're not in Wisconsin all the time through those 4 years. They're not in Michigan. They're not coming to see your places. They ain't in those different places in Philly. They ain't going to Allentown. In Pennsylvania. They've been down to Philly or something like that, but they haven't been no Allentown and Wilkes-Barre and stuff like that. They ain't going out there. I'm telling you these things because you're only important every 4 years. Right. And what you got to do is not only on this presidential side of things nationwide, but especially on your local side, you got to hold people accountable. Don't come to me during an election year. Come to me when you feel like there's nothing on the line, but there's something always on the line for me. You know what? That was even better than the first time. There's something always on the line for me.
I love it, man, because...
But that's when you need to come and figure out different things for me. Don't look at me just for the vote. Come out there when ain't nothing on the line for you, but everything's on the line for me. And that's what I'm talking about. Vote, all these different voting rights and things like that. And one thing I said is, how we in the year of 2024, going into 2025, and we're sitting back with voting boxes that are being burnt down. All this technology.
Facts.
Why are we sitting back with boxes that are being burnt? Now you got to figure out where the vote came from and all that type. Come on, man.
I can Venmo you. I can e-file my taxes. All this other shit. And you still doing ballot boxes. And 2, hold your folks accountable. And again, I'm gonna run this shit back. I live in between Towson and I don't know what the fuck you want to call this shit, but it's overlay. But so we're outside of Baltimore. We're still part of Baltimore.
You're in the outskirts of the county.
Yeah. I drive down major roads where it looked like my 4-year-old, I love her to death. My 4-year-old decided to pave the road and it's fucking up my car. This is the type of shit that you hold your local municipalities to. The most basic things like, hey, Department of Transportation, whatever y'all doing, But a major road, we're talking about a major road or even 95, where you're ducking a major sinkhole or pothole in a road that me personally, I had to pull over because I fucked up my car.
Yep.
Because they, for whatever reason, they don't put the right amount of money into that part of the department to where they just we're going to pave over some shit and go. We're not even going to talk about police presence. And if you guys go back several months, my wife's car got hit being parked on the road, and a cop came out, and he was about as useless as they was. And now everybody and their mom in the area is trying to get their vote up. And actually, it's kind of off because I think Mayor Scott, he actually got voted in prior to this. So he's not even on part of this part. But you have now, and something I'm going to re-say again, don't let something that most people, especially in every race, something that you were kind of born into as far as a party type, dictate how you. If you were white, somebody probably told you were a Republican. If you were black, somebody probably told you were a Democrat. Okay, there are some solid Republicans out there, and again,
it wasn't always that way.
Right. Shout out to Governor Hogan, man, that I ride with. Unfortunately, since he's a Republican, he's been tied into the whole MAGA situation, which is not even part of the party. That's a whole separate party.
It's definitely not part of him.
But now he's being
he's a number.
He is.
He's a number.
So
let me go even further on that since you brought up Governor Hogan. And I'll throw also Brooks out there. So I live in the DMV area. DC, Maryland, and Virginia. If you got to ask about, hey, does my area meet the DMV area? Then no, because we don't have to question that. So it's not all of Maryland. It's not all of Virginia. Okay, let's just put it that way. But either way, when I speak about the DMV area, I live in PG County, which is the second richest minority county in the nation. The first is right next to us, which is Charles County. PG County held it for all these years, and then Charles County just took it over. So right here, in this immediate population, neighboring counties,
right?
You're talking about the two richest counties in the nation, not Maryland, in the nation for minorities. Yet, my son is 13, turning 14, about to go to high school, and I'm on a high school tour looking at schools that are 30 plus minutes away.
Take your time, dog.
And talking about 20 grand and up for him to go. Now, I want my kid to have every opportunity in the world. But let me go back and repeat what I said. I live in the second most richest minority county in the nation. And that's what I have to do. Why do I have to do that? We can talk about all this U.S. nation stuff and international stuff and all that type of stuff. That's great. PG County, Charles County. Why we have to go through all this? That's what I'm asking. Why do I got to pay for college before college?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And when I point out all these type of things, we just let it slide by. Oh, just go out and vote for so and so. That's what you should be doing and blah blah. And I'm like, no, who the hell voting for me? Who voting for my household? Who looking out for my household?
Right.
Because nobody's making that decision.
Right.
Nobody's figuring that out right now. They just want to hold up the ribbon saying, hey, we're the so-and-so. What do you have to show for it? What you got to show? National Harbor? That's what you got to show? I'd rather go to the wharf. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, let's show off National Harbor, but right down the street, less than 5 minutes, you're in the hood. That's what you want to show.
Facts.
That's what you want to show. Your biggest building out there that you're happy about is a casino where you lose money. Right. That's what you want to show. That's what you want to show.
Which is interesting. I'm going to double down on that. So what Dave is saying, that part, I live down the street. This is not even a fabrication. I live down the street from the mayor of Baltimore. Literally on the other side of the street. Other side of the street. And it's interesting because if you and Dave was the one that sold us our home. The story group. Make sure you guys tap in with them.
Appreciate you.
Dave, no, we look at 20 plus homes. We drove miles
everywhere.
And we knew what if you was at mile 0.1 and if you drove to mile 1.1, it was two different parts of the motherfucking city. I just told you I live literally down the other end of the street from the mayor. I live in a good neighborhood, but if I go a mile from here, which doesn't seem like that far, but it kind of is when you're in the city, that's the kind of shit you need to be voting for to fix that type of thing. It's a situation, man, that we've been doing this podcast for 4 years. Waiting until the next presidential candidate and during this time, it's been a hectic time. We just seen people climb up on the Capitol like they was in goddamn World War Z out this bitch. We got comedians out here talking about Puerto Rico, which I love Puerto Rico. I have family in Puerto Rico. And then all of a sudden you got Puerto Ricans who ain't even accepted by their own Puerto Ricans. Shout out to J-Lo. Talking about they're rescinding. Here's the big part. They're rescinding their support for Donald Trump. I'm rescinding my support of Donald Trump because they called my island, garbage and trash. Wait. So wait. So you already said you were down for the cause, their cause, that cause, and the fact that since they your island made your island that doesn't even fucking vote. So the people who are living in the States, New York, stuff like that, were like, hey, yeah, man, we don't like that. Fuck you mean? Fuck you mean?
Let me tell you, and I don't know if we'll ever see it, especially even during our lifetime. And this will be my end of the whole political rant and stuff.
Yep.
But I'm waiting to see when somebody out there, and I know people can say Trump fits in this factor of keeping it real, but he doesn't because he doesn't even feel like he does anything wrong. So I'm not even going to put him in that fact. I'm talking about somebody that come out there and they be like, hey, well, what is something that you've done wrong in life? Have you done anything wrong? And they be like, yeah, I've done plenty of things wrong.
Right.
Like this is what it is. Shoot me the real shit.
But
give me the real breakdown, because if I can feel that you came from some part of something, but you're rebuilding and you're figuring out something, and hey, I might not know everything about this. Or, yes, I messed up on this. Like, for example, when they're even coming at Kamala about how she switched stance. You know how I would answer those questions? Yeah, I switched. You want to know why? Because I served vice president for 4 years, and I figured out that the nation doesn't move this way. Like we could do things this way. I learned that. You don't have to be wish-washy with shit. Yes, I switched my stance on it. Yes. That's it.
Is that like a white guy dating a black girl all of a sudden and be like, you know what? I did not like seasoning. But then I had greens. I'm like, I love it now. Yeah.
That's it. They ask Trump all these different type of things on stance on stuff, and he'll just tell you some type of answer that has nothing to do with it. And I'm like, just shoot it real. Like, bro, if you don't know, you don't know. like, you don't know. like, you ain't the expert in everything. You're not the expert. And that's the type of stuff that I'm looking at where I'm just like, come on, man. Because what do we always say about management and leadership, Sean? We always sit back and say, the leader doesn't mean that they can do everything the greatest.
Facts.
They can recognize it and put those people in those places.
Facts.
You know what I mean? When you got Trump in office and you're putting Ben Carson, the head of HUD, he's a doctor and he's the head of HUD. Like housing? Are we serious? That's the best place you could have put him?
I vote,
you know what I'm saying?
For the head of HUD. Keep going.
So I just say those things because I'm telling you to pay attention. Earl lives up in the area up in Jersey. What do they always say about Jersey as far as housing? Taxes. They're insane, bro. Damn near illegal.
Insane in the membrane.
Damn near illegal. I had to look at my wife's dad every single time we go up there, and I'm like, I don't know why you retired up here.
You should have went to
You're on
Tampa.
a fixed income, and these taxes just keep going up.
Mm-hmm.
So while expenses are going up, your income never changes. Like, this is crazy. I can never see it. I love up there. I love Jersey. I love New York, but I can't stay up there. I just can't do it because they just rape you and rape you. I'm just going to say it like that. That's what it is.
No Vaseline.
That's what it is. Oh, I got a raise. It doesn't mean nothing when the cost of living went up.
Right. Yeah, that's not a raise.
And after they fuck you, they don't even tell you thank you.
Now you can just afford to fill up your gas tank at that point.
Yeah. I remember years ago, and I think I said it to you. I got an option to go up for a new resort right up in New York that was opening up for the company I used to work for. And after I looked at the pros and cons, the final thing that pretty much wrapped it up was, wait a minute, how much more am I making? But the cost of living is going up. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's not a raise. Why am I going to move for it to cost more for me to go up there?
Paying the
than
same
what I'm bringing in.
I'm still a struggle boat.
So that's why I say pay attention. Don't just look at the news and think you know it all. I always say it to y'all. Whatever they're putting on the TV is the things that they want you to know. You have to do research.
Right.
You have to do research. The information is out there. What they say, the revolution is what? Televised. Hey, that joint is out there, bro.
I'm going to switch the conversation real quick.
Go ahead, man.
This is a fat ass comment I'm about to make.
Oh, shit.
But
he about to go out. Look at him.
He about to fall.
Nah.
This is going to be all
eyes closed.
So, nah. This ain't even tired. So when for my fat brothers and sisters out here, right? You know what I'm saying? when you got the fat that overlaps, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you got to scratch your belly, you know what I'm saying? And you get up in there and you get it. Not even that. When you scratch that part of your back, yo. You know what I'm saying? And when they be hitting that spot in your back, and you just be like, yo, you can get anything you want when you, yo, let me tell you something.
Yo, so it sounds like you just did that.
Yeah, you feel like you did.
That's why my eyes keep closing because I'm like, oh
man.
Yo, like, hey, Dave,
that's a hell of a reboot.
Go scratch Carter's belly right now. His ass gonna give you that same goddamn response right now.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna let you know right now. It's gonna sound even worse. Carter's joint is you scratch that butt.
Whoa.
Hey, you gotta have a pet, bro. You gotta have a pet.
You gotta have a pet, bro.
I understand.
You scratch that backside, it's a wrap.
You start getting that little leg kick up. Hey, man, let's talk about something on a more fun side, man, because this political shit is bullshit. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, man, is on Game Pass. Earl, did you know this?
You told me. You called me the other day.
I know. I did. I told you.
That means no.
He didn't know.
And Dave yelled at me like, I told you this months ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever.
Yes.
You don't fucking listen.
And for our 4-year listeners of the Hot Seat podcast, yes, your boy did download Black Ops 6. I have played an hour's worth of it.
I mean, I've been on YouTube. I've been on YouTube before, bro.
No, it's fine. I've been on YouTube for hours on there trying to figure out how to move this shit into third-person view. I may have figured it out. Look, man. I want to be part of.
First load it up. They have settings for you.
Yeah.
When you first load it up, they give you settings for motion and all that type of stuff.
But you know, it's crazy though. It's not all third person though. Like, so when you're riding in a vehicle, you're still in a first person view. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to take some drama me for this shit. But I played the first. I played about an hour the other day. Really dope. It for all my fellow military folks. It takes you back to 1991 Kuwait. During that war shit. It's I forget how good Call of Duty looks. Like, I need the people who produce and create Call of Duty to produce and create Madden. Like, because when I say it's clean,
I need
that shit.
My bad, real quick. Do y'all do the candy tax? Because I'm over here taxing the shit out of his shit.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Listen, first off, he just held out a shot right back, so I need that goddamn iced tea. Number two, the people that do the graphics and everything for Call of Duty need to do Dwayne Wade's goddamn.
God,
That shit is horrible. I'm sorry. I know we on the playback. I know we on the playback,
man. Like yes,
they said they don't want no parts of it. They said, "I'm good."
Man. It's
I was there.
It's that was rough.
I've been like, Dad, like you approved this shit?
Oh my god!
Right, like I don't, but he was like, but he played it all smooth. But that's
bro.
Yeah.
Nah.
Have you played COD, man? Have you played COD yet? Have you played it? How you like it so far?
So I played it real quick just for the zombies.
Okay.
It's back to the wave control as far as the rounds. So it's not the open map that we had before.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make sure, number one, the movement and the graphics and everything wasn't like Vanguard, and it wasn't. So
not at all.
I'll really get into it, say this weekend, get into the campaign and get into some of the stuff that we play.
Okay.
But I'm just excited that it's not like that. And I'm excited that it's on Game Pass. So it's already got 2 pluses for me.
That part. That's a 5-star right there for me.
I love it. I like it, man. Jumping into it, man, watching, I was like, man, I love the cinematic aspect of it. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And I'm going through all the settings and everything. I was like, all right, cool. If I die, I die. And at the end of the day, that's how it went. But it looks pretty good. It absolutely looks much better than Vanguard. I'll say that right the fuck right now.
I will say this, since we're doing kind of the gaming a little early here. Another thing I downloaded that came out that has a demo mode, and then I'm gonna buy it after the demo mode, is Life is Strange. So let me just throw that out there. I'm a sucker for the Life is Strange series, and Life is Strange is out there, so check that out. It has a demo that's free. It's free.
I'm with it. We're gonna do something. It's not in a video game space, but it is in a creative space that we all view and take in. And if the shit could get an Oscar, and I want to pivot to this real quick. I don't know how far you got into this, Dave. Hopefully you found a minute. Penguin. So I get it. Everybody's not a fan of Marvel Universe. You're not a fan of DC for good reasons. I have not watched a series as good as The Penguin.
What's it on?
Max. A series of this ilk since watching the motherfucking Sopranos.
How you spell ilk?
Because that's what it feels like. Shut your ass up. The
ilk.
The
ELK.
This series, man, is so good. You would never know that this was a part of the whole Batman comic aspect. Especially from the point that the lead actor does not look. You can't even recognize him, I guess, unless you really, really know who he is. But Dave, I know you watching it with me. I don't know, Earl. I don't know how much. I clearly you have not watched it because you just asked me what was it on.
I haven't seen the last one, so don't spoil nothing for me.
Yeah, I'm not.
But season one.
I'm gonna. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just by you asking that, we're gonna stop the conversation.
Yeah.
So
what
I'm gonna tell you is this: it's the perfect continuation after the Batman. Yes. Hands down, it's the perfect continuation after the Batman.
Right.
They captured it the right way.
Right.
And this backs up my theory of please, James Gunn, do not pull this into your universe. Just let it be separate. Let the Batman, Penguin, whatever else you want to spin off from that world, let it be. And what do you call it? Not the other world, but I
think it's called the other world. Like
something like that. Just leave it there. Don't try to pull this into whatever you're trying to create over there, because it is easily a standalone.
Oh no!
Yeah, it is amazing, and it is you described it right as far as Soprano wise, because it is a DC Mafia TV series.
It is, man.
It's a DC Mafia TV series.
So intriguing. It doesn't feel comic-y. Like everything feels real. And there's some parts on that really pulls at your heartstrings, which is pretty dope. at the end of the day. But I've enjoyed this series more than I thought I would because I didn't know what they were gonna do, and it's still, you know how you ever watch a series based off of a movie, and then when you watch the series, like it doesn't look like anything the movie looked like. This one looks exactly how the movie was shot. It looks exactly like that. And then I don't know if there's a rating. It might be TVMA. But they did a hell of a job doing this. I don't even know how many episodes we even have. I think we're at 6 or 7 in right now. What I do know is this is going to lead right directly into the Batman 2, which is going to be crazy. But it is absolutely the best series tied into like a film that I've seen since. And to be perfectly honest, as much as I love them, Marvel hasn't done this good of a job because they've done some stuff that led into it, but it was like it was kind of things were kind of patched. Even when you look at Loki, it was patched into it, but it was like
Loki's connected, but it's not.
Right.
At least they haven't done it yet.
Right. This was a direct tie-in. I'm like, shit, this is everything that we thought when we were looking at She-Hulk, when you were looking at the Defenders, when you looked at all this other stuff, and it was like, nah, this has been.
And that's the thing. That's why I was saying to you, that's the impressive part of it, because the thing I always blame DC for is even when they put out something good, it ties to nothing.
Nothing at all.
So I'm like, yeah, that's great, but where are we going with this?
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like, okay, you put out a good Aquaman, the first one. Where are we going?
Right.
You put out a very good Wonder Woman, the first one. Where are we going?
Yeah.
You put out not a good first Suicide Squad, but the second one was pretty good. But where are we going?
Yeah.
And that has been the common theme. Like, where are we going? Oh, now you released the Batman joint. Where are we going? Oh, that's where we're going.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. It's been
interesting. Because you know where I was about to go next. You put out.
Yeah, so I haven't even watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it with all my garb in a few days. We're talking about the Joker. Man, you talking about a flop.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, that was
when bad. Your joint get released to watching it on TV within, say, a month and a half.
A $200 million budget, not including marketing, and they only made about $170 million worldwide. That lets you know everything you need.
That was damn near straight to Max joint, son.
Yeah, you could have put that shit on Tubi. That shit's horrible. That shit's fucking horrible.
So stay there.
Yeah,
I don't know where you were about to go.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so let's stay up in this lane. I don't know if you saw. I meant to call you on it, but I've been so busy.
Yeah.
They just released the breakdown of the Disney Plus series for Marvel. Did you check it out at all, the trailer?
I did not. I've been seeing all these additional trailers for everything. Some of them I've seen, like with Ironheart and, with Daredevil, but I have not seen that.
So go check it out. It's a couple minutes trailer.
Okay.
That gives you a breakdown of where just the Disney Plus side, not the movies.
Okay.
Just the Disney Plus side is going. And I'm going to let you know. Next year it's going to be something. Especially for the little pieces that they put out. I was like, okay. Not only Kevin Feige, but Bob Iger got their hands on this one. Like, nah, get all that other bullshit out the way. We're going to release this, and this. And we're going to release it one after another, after another. After you finish watching that trailer, you're going to think that you watched movies. Like how it's broken down and it looks like the money that's been put into it. So, Deadpool, Wolverine get released on Disney Plus, I think next month.
Yeah.
Or is it out there already? Either way.
I think this will
be next month.
Yeah, right.
It'll be next month. And then in December it shows on there that What If Season 3 is coming out in December.
Ooh,
yep. Okay. And then it starts getting into next year. So next year, the first thing that's going to land on Disney Plus, January 29th, is your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the animated version.
Saw that.
And the clips that I see from that, they somehow captured like Spider-Verse type joint.
Yeah.
Mixed with an older school animation comic style type of joint. So it gives you that cheap hey, we just made this back then type of thing, but it has the movement of the new school, if you get what I mean.
Gotcha.
It's neat. It's so neat. Because I was like, are they just trying to continue the Spider-Verse? No, it's totally different. You can see the look of it is totally different.
I'm with it.
Then after that, so that's the end of January, take a month off. Then, of course, the series will be running through there. So when that series ends, in March 4th, Daredevil Born Again is going to be released.
Yes.
And if you see the trailers from this and the breakdown, and if you don't know, they pretty much finished half the series and then just scratched it, just threw it to the side and said, that ain't it. And I'm glad they did, because it seems like it's taking the darker tone of the Netflix series, even though they're saying, quote unquote, it's not a continuation of the Netflix series. You look at it, it's a continuation of the Netflix series.
It is.
When you're giving me Daredevil, when you're giving me Punisher, when you're giving me Kingpin and things like that. And now I heard like even the person that used to play Jessica Jones said, hey, I want to be in the next season of this joint. I'm signed up. Like it's there.
That's what you do. Like
it's there.
There was a shift somewhere in Disney where they were like, look, man, we can still do great things and still maintain the House of the Mouse, but all these other things. I sent a maybe I didn't. I'll send it in the group chat. This map, and it showed everything that Disney owns, which is insane. And I say that because as of 2027, I think the Grammys are going to move from CBS over to Disney. Yeah, which is owned by Disney.
That's ABC. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, and there's this map, and oddly enough, it's shaped like the Mickey Mouse, emblem, but it shows you everything that Disney owns.
Mm-hmm.
And if folks really knew everything that Disney owns outside of ABC, ESPN, stuff like that,
Discovery, all that stuff.
There's stuff on there that you were like, holy shit, national, they own part of Fox. The Fox
on a portion of Hulu. Yep.
Hulu, they own. It's so much stuff that company owns, and that goes all back to.
And then all the land down there that's not.
Yes,
it's claimed, but you don't know.
If you look at the story of Walt Disney, look it up. At a time where he was buying up all this land down in Florida, man, all this land, and people thought he was crazy. People thought it was crazy. There is so much land that is owned by Disney down in Florida alone. You wonder why every year that they're able to expand, bro.
So let me continue on for a second.
Yeah.
So you got March. That series is going to run for a while, Daredevil.
Yep.
So you're going to go from March 4th to June 24th. And that's when the highly anticipated long wait of Ironheart gets released, June 24th, because they pretty much announced that during Comic-Con like 2 or 3 years ago. So they made a joke of, yeah, she might have been little young Riri back then, but she a grown woman. So that's going to be June 24th, and it looks good. It really, it looks good. And then you go from June 24th, and then 2 months later in August 6th, they just showed it real quickly. But once again, a totally different type of animation that I've seen so far. Kind of gave like an anime type of feel. Right. Eyes of Wakanda is going to come out, the animated version. So that'll be August 6th. So then you got August, September, 2 months later, October, not the What If series, but the spinoff of that, which is Marvel Zombies. If you saw the breakdown of that.
Yes.
So that comes out. We're rolling right through 2025. That's October, November. December's going to end off with Wonder Man. And the person that's playing Wonder Man,
trailer, man,
is the person that played what's the character in Aquaman? The black guy that played
I cannot remember his name.
Shoot.
I know, but he played Black Man.
I had to look it up. Yeah, and Aquaman, and I said, man, he's a good actor with a bad script.
Yep.
Like he's just thrown in a bad movie that's going nowhere, and I'm glad he got it. He's going to get his shine in the Wonder Man side of things. So look,
And he didn't mention Henry Cavill and whatever he's going to end up doing in Marvel. So
yeah, but when I'm sitting back and I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay. To me, they got that lineup set up for Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I don't know. I know they released the movie thing, and I had to go back through it, but that's a hell of a lineup. That's a hell of a lineup. If they hit
that, and this is the first time I've seen this because they pushed back Blade, but Mahershala Ali, I hope you say his name. He actually put out a statement that he said that he was actually happy with the direction of Blade for the first time. That was the first time, and you them all what 3. I feel like we've been in this development for like 3 years, so we're gonna see how that goes. I wonder if especially with the success of Deadpool, that they have Wesley Snipes involved in this. I hope they do. I hope you understand. There's certain things, man, that require certain people to make the movies what they are. There are certain people that make up the universe or the lead that you make, and that takes us right into the NBA season. The NBA season has started. We're very, very, very early. But we have some
Lonzo Ball is hurt again. Sorry. I'm a Bulls fan.
I don't know what's happening. Lonzo Ball is hurt again. I think he had like a hamstring.
I think
it's something else, right? No, not hamstring. It was something else.
I think it's like his wrist or something.
Yeah, right. His wrist. My bad. His wrist. You have the Cleveland Cavaliers are 6-0. They blew out the Lakers the other night. For those who didn't know, Chris Paul is in San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama is gonna have a insane second year, bro. Just knowing what Chris Paul is about. LeBron is still. Look, man, I get it. There would, to me, and probably to Dave too, there will never be anything that can move us to the other side to say that LeBron is the GOAT compared to one Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
No.
You would be an idiot not to recognize that this man is 40 years old. The other night, he put up a triple-double, bro, at 40.
Yep. He's amazing. Ain't no slouching on that. Yeah, he's amazing.
Amazing. And it's so dope to see.
His longevity is matched by no one else.
You know how crazy it is, man? I've been seeing these videos, man, that's been showing. Oh, so they were showing like AI when AI had cut his braids for the All-Star game. And you would see LeBron. I'm like, yo, LeBron been around so long. He's seeing him in old videos with KG, Ray Allen, all these cats. I'm like, yo, these cats he's been around that long. And the fact that he's still performing in a way that is, she's insane compared to his younger counterparts, which lets you know and shows you a dedication to the game, man, that very few, that only two other people had recently was one, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant. He has a dedication to the game, which I wish players who had all this talent, i.e. a Ja Morant, i.e. a Julius Randle.
I just want to touch on something that you just said right there. Right. And this is why, and it's not even a diss to him. He doesn't operate in this fashion.
He doesn't.
You brought up Michael Jordan, you brought up Kobe.
Right.
His dedication to the game is definitely there. Hands down.
Absolutely.
And I always said the longevity. If LeBron had that same killer mentality they had,
that's a whole.
Then we could start having a discussion. So when people sit back and go off of like chips and things like that, that's not even what I just go off of. Because we're talking chips. Michael Jordan's not even the guy. We're talking chips.
No.
We're going into Wilt Chamberlain land. But just that I'm straight scared because you're on the court feeling. People are friends with him. Nah, bro. You wanted to be around Jordan, but you didn't want to play Jordan.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You wanted to be around Kobe, but he wanted to kill you on that court.
Right.
bro. Hey, bro. And it's a difference. And that's just not him. And that's fine. But I'm telling you, I was raised up in that sense of competition-wise, not just the basketball thing. Like when you got out there, like it was it. By any means necessary.
Yes.
I'm gonna win, you gonna lose.
Absolutely.
And that was the feeling. They didn't have to say a word. So that is the thing. And I've seen little glimpses of it. I remember one playoff run when he just took it over, bro. Like just took it over. And I'm just like, if I seen that on a yearly basis, nobody can stop this man. Kobe and MJ don't have his build.
Right. No.
Come on. Nobody can stop this man. So that's why I push all those excuses away, because I'm just like, you decide to throw that ball off and things like that, or not get fouled to go to the line for these shots and things like that. Like, I'm like, nah, they can't stop you. They either have to let you go or foul you. That's it. They can't stop you.
He literally, his equivalent resides in Baltimore right now with one Derrick Henry, because they both spend equally around about the same amount of money each year, just maintaining their bodies at an age.
I've seen his workout too.
Man.
Wow. That, I know this ain't football talk, but Jerry Jones talking about he wasn't a fit for our team. There ain't one team that Derrick Henry ain't fit for. Like, what are we talking about? I don't care if you got a running back. Like, what are we talking?
It's crazy. 260 something pounds, bro. He's still running
nobody like
miles an hour. He's spending $250,000 a year just on his body. LeBron's spending close to $1 million on his body, man. It's that they understand what it means to be the apex of their position, which is crazy dope. And that's something that, not too many people are willing to do. You think about it, but you can, and I know we were talking about it in pre-production, man. If you have one available, ready for a real estate corner, is up to you. But what they're doing as an athlete is something that is equivalent to what you do when you're in your career. How much are you willing to go outside of your day-to-day and invest in yourself to make you the best at what you do, to maximize your financial potential as well as your career potential outside of your peers? I mean, we all got people. You have your career, I have my career, and we both have taken paths where we were like, look, hey man, I get it. We all cool. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to get here.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, you lose. You may, you may lose those who've kind of been hanging on for those years. Be like, whatever. But at the end of the day, you find yourself in a space that is rare air, because you are prospering in a space to where not many thought you could. And that's what both of them do. LeBron's well over, he's 40 years old. Man, that shit was unheard of. Goddamn Derrick Henry, he's a well over 30-year-old running back. What? You and I, black men in our particular professions, from where we come from, have completely cleared that hurdle of like, you can't get past here. And then we live a life now to where it's like well beyond what we typically have been assigned to. You gotta, I feel like you got a real estate corner. You got one?
Go ahead.
But that was a hell of a transition. I don't know how I did it, but I just set it up. There we go.
So real quick, this is Dave Story of the Story Group over at Exit Community Realty, and this is the Real Estate Corner, just coming to you because the state of market is a little confusing, to be honest with you. A lot of people saw the Fed cut some rates and things like that a couple months ago, and they're like, oh, here we go. Everything's going to start going down. And that's great, but that means you don't understand true real estate and the numbers. While things started to trickle down a little bit, realize no matter what's happening on that side, if the prices, as far as homes, as far as the value for them, keep on going up, it doesn't matter. And that's where I always tell people, get in where you fit in. Your pre-approval is very important. Doing the right due diligence of getting things right, whether it's your credit, whether it's down payment, whether it's knowing the closing costs and how taxes are working out in certain counties compared to others. These are things that you got to do research on, and these are why you got to deal with true professionals, real estate wise, in their profession. Because a lot of people just deal with people that can just open up houses and just say, "Hey, do you like it?" And that's great, but you might have had a better option somewhere else.
Right.
Realize, especially for you first-time home buyers out there, if this is your first time, buying a home and things like that, just realize that this is probably not your end-all be-all. The average first-time home buyer is only in a house for about 5 years, I'll say on average, about 5 years. So if that's the case, don't look for every single nook and cranny to be perfect. Look for something that you can live in during the time being, but you can build on to gain that equity, and now you can roll that equity into the next house. You get what I mean? Because things are going to change around you. People are looking for the perfect time to buy. Let me answer that for you. There's never a perfect time to buy, but there is a good time for you rather than others. Oh, let me sit back and wait. Let me wait for interest rates to get right. Well, guess who else is waiting with you? 20, 30, 40, 50 other people. So if you're bidding on that house a year from now, 2 years from now, that the rates now have went down, but the price of it that whole time has been going up, and now you got a battle with 20 other offers, are you paying more or less? You're paying more. But if you can sit back, once again, do your due diligence, maybe get into something that may be at a little bit higher rate, but you can afford it. You can afford it. If you're able to do that and then play those numbers against each other for when rates come down and then maybe you refinance and bring it down, guess what you have? You have the house that you want for that time being. So don't let anybody push you into a place, but let people educate you. If you don't feel comfortable, don't move on. I'm going to say that again. If you don't feel comfortable, don't move on. But also don't just take people's words for it. Let them show you proof of what's going on, or else all they're doing is just showing you something. It's like a car salesman that just opened up the car and let the car sell itself. Don't let the house just sell itself. Why are you buying that house? What are the rates? What is the economy like in this area? What is the taxes looking like in this area? Because especially if you're not going to just stay in that area and you're moving somewhere else, guess what else you got to think about? Not only you just living there, what's going to be the resale value when I am ready to go? Are people even going to want it?
Right.
People even going to want it. So I say that because there's people out here that honestly, they may hold the title of being an agent, and I'm just going to say it real bluntly, but they aren't doing the due diligence to keep up with the state of the real estate market, and it's ever changing, and you got to change with it. Absolutely. So, Real Estate Corner, and I stand by it.
I like it. The Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Sean, Dave. Earl fell off because I think his laptop died. So make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seat Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at the Hot Seat Podcast. Before we get out of here, man, of course, you can always find us on Xbox Live. I appreciate, I don't know about Dave, I don't know if you've seen it. I appreciate everybody who's added me as their new friend on Xbox Live. I've seen so many friend ads as of late on Xbox. I don't know who some of these people are, but I appreciate it. I guess you guys are actually listening. I guess we're doing something right because I don't know none of half these people. But of course, man, if it wasn't for our Xbox Live conversation, we wouldn't have a podcast today, and that's what we are. So you can find me at Sanatu-X on Xbox. Yes, I downloaded COD Black Ops 6 because I'm still highly upset the fact that my City Skylines 2 game has been delayed indefinitely. So I'm playing something, goddammit, outside of everything else. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to work through this and, about to be the greatest, Call of Duty player ever in history.
Oh, man. The Storyteller, Black Ops 6. Like I said, Life is Strange. I plugged that earlier. Yeah, man, just catching up on some of these shows. Penguin is hot. I just caught up on Power the last season there. My show is back from Netflix. What is that? Lincoln Lawyer. So there's a lot of good shows out there, man. You just got to find them. A lot of good shows. A lot of them are honestly on these apps streaming more than even on TV. So,
bro, you ain't lying. You thought you were saving money getting
the most for.
Yeah, right. Like, damn it, Jim, man. And of course, man, we appreciate you guys tapping in with us each and every Sunday, man. 9:30 a.m. for the Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk Live. It has been a vibe each and every Sunday. Go Commanders. We do play the Giants this weekend. It was pretty awesome. Salute to everybody who was watching the game last week in the Hail Mary. I've watched that replay so many times. It's been pretty dope. Best sports fandom year ever in a while in this case. So it's fun. And shout out to Earl because Earl laptop died and so did Earl. Not died, literally. He just went to sleep. It's an NJ Fat Boy. Yeah, he was.
NJ Fat Boy 973.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find us there, man. It's going, of course, NBA 2K is out now. But I'm pretty sure COD is going to be the hot thing that we jumping in right now. And even the state of video gaming is starting to change. There's a lot happening right now. If you guys check and see what's going on, a lot of folks, man, whether it's platforms, Meta is really trying to make their space into it. I am still debating on getting this Meta Quest 3 headset just to get the Arkham game because it has gotten such great reviews. I'm thinking about it. We're moving to a space now that we thought about a while ago. It's becoming really, really interesting. I'll say that to say the least, with all the extracurricular virtual reality, chat, APT, GPT, and that everything else in between. It's just really interesting right now.
That's probably one of Cam's gifts. So hope
you listen to the podcast. You don't know. So anything else we got, man? Anything else what we got? It's abbreviated. It's not even abbreviated episode since the first 30 minutes of it got cut out. Because whatever. Anything else you want to say about Halloween? Even though we missed all that part, you want to give your top
since
5?
You missed that part, I mean, some of the things I just said was just put more effort into the fact of wearing an outfit, some type of costume when you come up to my house and expecting candy. Parents, you are not part of this. Don't come up with your own bag talking about, it's for my child, and I look over and your child is in a stroller, 7 months old. It's not for your child. Don't come to my house 9:30 at night expecting me to still have candy. No, that's your parents' fault. Ain't happening. By the way, if you come to my house 9:30 at night and you still got a mask on, I'm going to meet you with something else instead of candy because I think you're trying to rob my place.
Absolutely.
This is still Maryland at the end of the day. So that was a little bit of my intro.
So again, man, make sure you guys listen, like, rate, review, share, and most importantly, enjoy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite shows. It is the Hot Seat Podcast, man.
The Hot Seat.